Parents allege that Minnesota Child Protection Services is legally kidnapping their children.
Those parents, along with a state senator, announced a new lawsuit today saying that changes need to be made.
But first tonight, we are following up on that lawsuit filed by a group of parents at the state capitol this week who say Minnesota Child Protection Services doing more harm than good. The lawsuit is being led by a parent who says the laws are unconstitutionally broad and vague, especially in Minnesota. He lost his children for 22 months taken by Child Protective Services based on allegations and the discretion of social workers.
So, Leah, this lawsuit was filed by a parent who claims he lost his children for 22 months, all because of a single spanking. Then, while trying to get his kids back, he noticed he was far from alone.
Well, some bureaucrat made an accusation on my daughter over there that I'm pissed off about too. Being a false accusation. She hasn't seen her kids for 3 years. I made an accusation maybe against you and you and you and you. Been a victim of the system for over 3 years. I haven't seen our grandchildren for 3 years.
My name is Rosalba Finley. I am a mother of 8 children, and I'm a grandparent. I'm somebody's sister, and these people tell me that my house isn't good enough for my grandkids to be living. I don't make enough money for my grandkids. Why don't you just stand to the side and be a grandma from the sidelines? Well, it ain't gonna happen because they're my kids. They're mine. I don't understand them because I did everything for 11 months and 22 days and 18 hours they wanted me to do. And then they tell me the case is closed, her rights got terminated, you're out.
When I first got here, it was just me, my kids, dad, and my 2 oldest children. And over the course of 5 years, we've had 3 more children. So now we have a family of 5 kids. CPS has been involved for 1 year and 8 months now. And to them, because I don't have a support system, it's a reason for them to keep my kids. To them, depression and PTSD is now a mental health illness that stops you from parenting. If it's mentally draining to an adult, what do you think it is do to a child that don't know how to express their feelings and their emotions? They don't know how to say, I'm hurt, I'm angry, I don't know what to do, I'm scared. We do as adults, but they're children, and children don't know how to speak for themselves. So who are going to speak for the kids?
I'm not sure if you're aware that 465,000 children were removed and separated from their families last year. $29.1 billion was spent last year on these removals. Over the course of the last 10 years, $290 billion have been taken out of the Social Security Administration to pay for the separation of American children from their families.
But I do believe that there is a culture in the departments to make sure that the money keeps coming in. And why would a worker reunify a parent and her children, or a parent and his children, if they know that the department gets a bonus of $5,000 to $10,000 for each child that's adopted out?
The central problem, and where everything comes together, is Minnesota statutes do not require the government to show in court that there's some harm being prevented when the child is taken away from the parent.
The bar is so low for any parental discipline outside of talking in timeout. So in essence, if you do anything, or and when I say anything, it can be, if you get expelled from school, I'm going to spank you. As most parents would be upset if their child got expelled from school. Well, social services can come in and take your child just for you saying that. Mind you, you could have never touched your child in 10 years.
No state statute can conflict with the citizen's constitutional rights, and in every way, shape, and form, this is a violation of citizens' constitutional rights. And I'm coming forward as a citizen, and I'm going to tell you guys it's not tolerated, and the citizens need to be informed.
Enough. You can't look at what's going on to our children, to our families, and you can't just sit idly by. I said that to my family. I said, I can't sit on the sidelines anymore because they came for this one, they came for that one. Well, guess what? What's going to happen when they come for yours?
Yes.
There has been civil rights issue from the day of the Civil War. In the turn of the century, with the civil rights issue for Americans' right to vote for women. I grew up in the 60s when the civil rights, they were fighting the streets of the city of Minneapolis across America. This is the next civil rights issue. And when you mess with the kids, you've gone too far, government, and we're going to fight now. We got a civil rights attorney here. He's told me just before we got here, we're going to take to the Supreme Court. But we do this by standing together. Brothers and sisters, no matter what color we are, it doesn't matter.
One of the things I recently learned from someone that I hope will let me call her a mentor is that systems don't change, and then they change.
This is the first day that we no longer stand alone. We declare this is the next day and the next civil rights issue in America today.
That's right. Let my children go! Children go! Let my children go! Let my children go! Let my children go! Let my children go! And that's it. They're gonna let our children go. And they're gonna give them back to our families. Because they don't belong to the government, they don't belong to the state, they belong at home. Our children belong at home.